Today I'm going to be talking about the Catalina Cloud Printing in Mail. What this allows us to do is send invoices, checks, letters, postcards, holiday cards, birthday cards, whatever, to a cloud-based printing and mailing solution directly and automatically from Dynamics SL, GP, CRM, Salesforce, or really any other source. So what is it really? Catalina Cloud Printing allows us to send, like I said, invoices, checks, and etc. to Cloud Printer for printing and mail. So if you can see, we've got Catalina Integration that allows us to bundle up data, whether it's from Salesforce or a SQL Server query or Dynamics, or even an Excel spreadsheet, a CSV file, or even an API call. So if somebody has an external system that wants to be able to send data to the printer, they can just go ahead and send it through our API. And then once we get that data from some kind of query or API call, we then can go ahead and send it to our cloud-based printing, automatically merge, print, and then mail it. And then once it gets to your customer or vendor, then they're happy customers or vendors because they've gotten it quick, easy, and very professionally. So how do we really do this? We use Catalina's integration tools to retrieve the data from most any source. We've got an interface to QuickQuery, which we're going to show in a demo today. We could do it from any SQL call or query, an Excel spreadsheet, a CSV file. We can get data out of Salesforce or pretty much anything else. Then we bundle that data and merge it with a templating system to then produce the document that you want, whether it's invoicing your customer or sending checks out of AP or sending letters, postcards, or etc. Then we send it to the cloud printer, and then that cloud printing will do all the stuffing and mailing for you. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about QuickQuery and Catalina's QuickQuery interface. And what this really is it's a tool for us to be able to go and export data from either Dynamics SL or really any SQL solution and be able to get that out of there. So it's very similar to Dynamics SL QuickQuery. It's fed by the views that are created in QuickQuery. So if you've got QuickQuery views and you're using it in Dynamics SL, we pick those up. But we can also apply this to any other SQL Server data source as well. We then can go and create filter definitions that can then be used, saved and used future. And there's really one significant, well, there's a lot of significant differences between our QuickQuery front end and then just plain QuickQuery, is that we're not just limited to output data to an Excel spreadsheet. Once we save a filter definition in QuickQuery, then we can save it and then we can call it from a job scheduler for automation. It can automatically be called by an API so that external systems could go ahead and say, hey, call this QuickQuery with this filter setting and give me the data back. And then we also have a data mapping capability that is a scripting capability that allows us to then take that data that's coming from the QuickQuery and then be able to map it into any format you want, and then also be able to make external API calls to other systems, whether it be Dynamics CRM or our printing solution or Salesforce or whatever. So that way you can go ahead and get data out of your SQL data source, and in this case I'm going to show it with Dynamics SL, and then be able to map it and then send it to some other system along with validation and everything else. So I'm going to show a demo. This demo is going to show us how we can use our QuickQuery definition and be able to save that so we can schedule it in automation, but then be able to show how we can take data from a QuickQuery output and automatically send it to cloud printing so that it can be merged. And then those printed documents can, whether they're invoices, checks, postcards, or whatever, be able to be mailed automatically to your customers, vendors, or opportunities. So that way, you don't have to do the printing. You don't have to worry about stuffing the envelopes and folding everything up and all that type of stuff. What you end up is with an automatic, very professional output that can then be sent to your customers, opportunities, vendors, friends, whoever you're going to be sending this data to, and it's automatically coming from your ERP, CRM, help desk, whatever system. Okay, so here we go. This is the demo that I'm going to show about how we can take data out of Dynamics SL in this case, or it could be pretty much anything else, GP or CRM or Salesforce, whatever, and then be able to create a filter definition that will define what what we want to get out of this, and then be able to go ahead and send it off to the cloud printer for printing and mailing. So you can see here, I've got a few definitions right now. Our QuickQuery front end to regular QuickQuery really is a generic tool that allows us to be able to go ahead and take a QuickQuery view, like you can see here, and some of these might be familiar to the SL folks, and then be able to have filters, and then save that. And then once we've saved it, then we can go ahead and call it in a job scheduler or a trigger or an API call. So I'm going to create a new one here, and you can see we've got even things like for sending inventory to eBay so you can sell on eBay or whatever. But let me go and hit add a quick query definition, and what I can do is give it a name. So let me just give it a nice name here. Then I can choose which quick query I want to go ahead and use, and you can see these are all the little different views that I've got. I've got a custom one here a custom view that I've added to quick query called the Catalina invoice retrieve, and the reason I've got this is because there are a few fields that I want to go ahead and have that's additional, and I'll show you those in a bit. Now, I also, in the slideshow before, I showed that where do we want to send this thing to? So very different than what QuickQuery is. QuickQuery from Dynamics SL, all it really does is allow you to create a query and some filtering, and then you output it to Excel, and then it's up to you to get it to where you need it to go. But in this case, we can then go ahead and send it to a customizable script, and that customizable script allows us to then format the data in any format that we want, and then be able to even make API calls automatically. So you don't have to worry about taking an Excel file, being able to tweak it, and then be able to get it out. So I'm just going to choose one that I've got. We've got all kinds of things like, even dealing with HVAC temperature alarms to create service calls in SL, all kinds of cool stuff like that. But in this case, I'm going to choose the SL invoices to cloud print, and what this will do is take the output of the this quick query and output it to the format that our cloud print needs to do. Now I can add some filters. So I'm going to do a few things here. First of all, I've got one of these fields called invoice sent. This is in my view, and again, you can go ahead and do any view. So this I'm showing invoices, but you could be sending holiday cards to your customers, or you could be, if you're in Dynamics CRM or Salesforce, you could be sending out postcards or letters to opportunities that are mail merged or whatever. So whatever data you've got, we can go ahead and get it out of there. Now I'm going to go ahead and make sure that invoice sent is 0. And what invoice sent is just a field that we've got in our little view that once we send an item to the printer, we don't want to send it again, so we go ahead and flip the flag to 1 for this field, so that we only want things with a value of 0 to go out, so that we don't reprint things. And let me do something kind of interesting too. If I go, let's see, due date, and let me do less than or equal to, then I'm just going to cut and paste something over here. And I'm going to do what's called an evaluation. And this is just code that you can do so that you don't have to go into your quick query definition and say, I want, what's today's date, and you figure it out on a calendar minus 30 days. So what I'm doing is I'm taking now and subtracting 30 days from it. And I'm just going to go ahead and say, I want this to be an evaluation. So that way I can save this quick query definition and then call it from anything, a job, a scheduler, or an API call, or a trigger, or whatever. And so if I view my query results, what that's going to do is it's going to bring back everything that matches that criteria. So that's great. Now, for this demo, it's very difficult for me to show how things are going to be printing and mailed and all that. So what I'll do is I'll send out a limited list of items so that we can just do a proof. But really what's behind the scenes is a mail merge that then goes to a printing service that then also, once it's printed, stuffs it in envelopes and mails it to your customers or opportunities or whoever. So I'm just going to go ahead and let's bring this one back. I'm going to go ahead and add another filter, just so I'm going to bring one back so I don't have the world coming back and creating a whole bunch of things. So I'm just going to go ahead and add this. Now I can save this if I want to and use it for future use. I can view my query results. I can see I've only got one item back. And then I could send the results to something. Now this, I'm doing it interactively, but like I mentioned, is once you save your QuickQuery definition, then you can call it from a job scheduler so that you can schedule this automatically, and so it'll bring back, if you don't look at this reference number, it'll bring back all of your invoices that have not been sent that are over 30 days old. So, that just gives you a lot of opportunity to be able to create all kinds of filter functionality. So now, and then once it does this, it's going to send it to this specific integration mapping and automatically send it out. So you don't have to do anything else. So now I'm just going to go ahead and hit send results. I'm going to run it, and it's doing its thing, doing its querying and all that type of stuff. And then what it'll do is merge it into a template and allow the system to be able to go ahead and deal with it. So I'm not sending it to the printer right now, but what I'm doing is I'm having our printing service go ahead and create a proof. So if I go up here and I bring back the proof, I can see, there we go. This is a very simple template. We can make it look any way you want. We could do it. You could do it if you've got the templating skills, or you could use your Dynamics partner or whoever to be able to go and generate this kind of invoice or letter or whatever to be able to deal with it. So again, this is really a quick and easy way for us to be able to go ahead and export data out of most any source, whether it's SQL Server, a Dynamics product, Salesforce, or even make a call to some API to retrieve data, be able to go ahead and merge that into a template, send it to get printed and mailed automatically, and then all of a sudden your customer, opportunity, vendor, whoever gets that document, whether it's an invoice, check, postcard, or whatever. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the demo. If you've got any questions, I'll put up a contact us slide after this. And if you've got any questions, please contact us. Thanks a lot.